Most of us that practice Urdhva Dhanurasana or wheel pose find it very difficult to align the shoulders right over the wrists in the full pose. In this video, we'll do 2 warm-ups to open the upper chest and draw the heads of the arm bones back. So both a upper chest opener and a shoulder opener, before looking at 3 different ways to align the shoulders right over the wrist in wheel pose. It would probably be best to first review the video so that you understand the props and the positions of the hands, then do the practice with the video. We'll begin. Urdhva Dhanurasana, or wheel pose, is a back bend that requires us to get long in our quadriceps, our thighs, to get open in the chest, especially the upper chest, open hips, and strong arms. There's so many pieces to it. This practice focuses on opening the upper chest for more flexibility. You'll find other videos that focus on other aspects of Urdhva Dhanurasana in the description. For this practice, grab a beach towel or a blanket and make sure when you roll it very tight that it creates a nice strong support for you. As you place the blanket on your mat, take your elbows to the top of the blanket roll and find that spot just right behind your sternum as you draw your shoulders back. Take your arms in a cactus pose and enjoy your breath. At first, this doesn't feel quite so comfortable. We're all used to being quite kyphotic in the upper back. So this just helps to open this area. So frequently I hear others say, I cannot do wheel pose or Urdhva Dhanurasana because my arms aren't strong enough. And certainly the arms have to do very strong actions, but it's made so much more accessible if you start to dissect the pose in such a way that the hip flexors are lengthened and a little bit more flexible, the quadriceps as well. As you pause and just focus on your breath here in this pose, see how you can allow the fullness of your breath to create just a little bit more openness in the upper chest area. Very slowly, you can bend your knees to roll over to your side. And be quite careful here as you roll off the blanket. Just place the blanket to your side. Lie back. Enjoy this quality, this shift, this openness that you get from just lying on the blanket roll. With your knees bent, with your feet hip distance apart, with your elbows pressing down, now allow a nice opening in your upper chest by lifting your pelvis first, Press your elbows down to get as much fullness here in this bridge pose, Setubandha Sarvangasana. Press your head back and create just a little bit more space between your chin and your chest. Keep the legs really strong and active. As you press the elbows down, see if you can get even more lift in the upper chest. Keep your legs strong. Keep a nice strong action there. And slowly take your pelvis down. Roll over to your side. Come to all fours position with 2 blocks. Take your blocks slightly narrower than shoulder width apart. Place your elbows to those blocks. Place your hands in prayer position. Draw your head right between the upper arms. With your hands in prayer position, draw your thumbs back toward your shoulders. So you get this nice opening of the upper chest. Now your belly will want to just kind of hang like a hammock in this. So see about drawing from your tailbone to your pubic bone, to your navel, to get fullness in the area of the kidneys. So rather than just kind of hanging in that belly area, you're still pressing the elbows down to get this nice openness in the upper chest, but you've got tone in the low belly area. Press your elbows down very firmly. You might feel like one shoulder is slightly more flexible than the other, but see if you can balance out the action. Breathe in deep and breathe out long. Do that 3 more times. Keep pressing your elbows down as you reach your hands in prayer position slightly back, even further. Now slowly take yourself out of the pose and take your mat to the wall. At the wall, let's use that tightly rolled blanket or towel right by the wall. As you press it right into the baseboard or to the wall, this will allow you to get a little bit more fullness in your back bend. So in the same way that we were just doing, taking our arms over our head, as you lie on your back, with your knees bent, with your feet hip distance apart, place your hands to the blanket roll. So with the thumbs in the top, with the thumbs pressing firmly, you press the blanket roll right into the wall. This gives your wrists just a little bit more freedom. Lift your pelvis up so you're coming toward a bridge pose. Now lift your shoulders up to come just momentarily to your head. So press into the blanket to lift yourself up. You're on your head now. Now press your hands very firmly to inhale and lift yourself up to full Urdhva Dhanurasana or wheel pose. With your legs strong, draw your heart a little closer to the wall. And slowly come on out of the pose. So bend your knees, take your head down, draw your shoulders down, and release. Another alternative is to use blocks. In the same setup, you'll take the blocks right against the wall, lie on your back again, with your knees bent, place your hands to the blocks, push the blocks securely into the wall, draw your elbows in toward each other. The elbows like to splay wide, so you hug them in. Lift your pelvis up as if coming to bridge. Lift your shoulders up to come to your head. Strengthen your arms. Inhale as you straighten your arms. Press your feet firmly to bring your heart closer to the wall. Enjoy your breath. Enjoy this fullness. Slowly release down. And rest. And pause. The third method, to align the shoulders right over the wrist. Most of us are working on it. Very few of us can actually get that, but I'm getting closer, and so are you if you're doing this video. In this variation, we'll use weights, and these are big 20-pound weights. You can obviously use much smaller weights. These were available to me, so that's why I used them. Lie on your back with your knees bent. Adjust your weights so that you can get a firm grip on the weights. Draw your elbows in toward each other. Press the weights to the wall. The same steps apply as we did in the last two wheel poses. First, you lift your pelvis. Then you lift your shoulders as you press the weights into the wall. You come to the top of the head, not bearing too much weight, before pressing to lift yourself up. Now, as you hold onto the weights, you draw your heart forward just by pressing firmly through the legs. You try to reach your heart to the wall as you get this nice fullness in the pose. Very slowly, you can bend your elbows, come to the top of the head, and draw down. Release your hands. So there you have it. 3 different ways to open your shoulders and upper chest while protecting your wrists as you work toward more fullness in Urdhva Dhanurasana or wheel pose. Thank you for joining me in the practice. Namaste.